The question looms: will senators stand up for a fair trial with witnesses and documents? Right now, the Republican leader and I have very different visions about what it means to conduct a fair trial. Democrats believe that a fair trial means that all the relevant facts come out and witnesses and documents are part of that trial. Who ever heard of a trial without witnesses and documents? It's unprecedented. But if you're afraid of the facts, if you're afraid of what would come out, if you want to cover it up, even in something as weighty and serious as impeachment, you say no witnesses and no documents. We say witnesses and documents, fair trial. No witnesses and no documents, cover up. That simple sentence describes it all. We always knew that Leader McConnell would not be for a fair trial. He said that from the beginning. He went on right-wing talk radio to brag about no fair trial and just listening to the White House. But many of his colleagues are very, very worried about going home and saying they're not for witnesses and documents. Large numbers of Republicans have refused to say whether they're for witnesses and documents. And that is why Leader McConnell came up with this kick the can down the road theory. Try to avoid that question. There will be votes on the 4 witnesses that we have asked for. There will be votes on the 3 sets of documents that we have requested. And there may be votes on other witnesses and documents as well. As we've seen over the last 2 weeks, the evidence for witnesses and documents keeps building. Well, let me say, the Speaker has said all along that she wanted to see the arena in which she was playing when it came to a trial so she could appoint impeachment managers. Now it's becoming clear that Mitch McConnell wants to do everything he can to avoid a fair trial, so she has some idea of what's happened. But let me say this. By not sending the articles immediately, she's already accomplished 2 things which we fully support. One, Mitch McConnell couldn't do what some thought he might want to do. Right before Christmas or after Christmas, just dismiss. And second, in the last 2 weeks, there's been a cascade of evidence that bolsters the case, strongly bolsters the case for witnesses and documents. So now we have a greater feel for where we're headed. And Speaker Pelosi, I have a great faith in the decision that she will make. But she's accomplished a great deal already. And if you doubt that, ask any one of the Republicans. Not whether they'd support the kick the can down the road, not whether they'd support the duck, but whether they'd support witnesses and documents. They're afraid to say yes because they know Donald Trump will be furious at them. They're afraid to say no because they know their voters, their constituents would be furious at them. They're stuck. We will not let them avoid the vote.